Okay, just a couple of announcements first. One of them is we all know 21 Day Fix Extreme just came out. Woot! My suggestion is go through your customer list and identify anybody who has bought 21 Day Fix before and send them a message. Ask them if they know about 21 Day Fix Extreme, and ask them if it's something that they would like to try and do, because some people just want to go and do more work. They want to advance, and this is a natural progression. Maybe they've done it once or twice, and they're like, I need something a little different, but I really enjoyed it. It's a natural progression to go into 21 Day Fix Extreme. If anyone's come to you and said, I'd like to do 21 Day Fix, but they haven't committed yet, go back to them and talk to them about 21 Day Fix, or just say, hey, have you heard that 21 Day Fix Extreme is coming out? That might be something that's more up your alley, or this gives you 2 back-to-back workouts that you can do. You've got 6 weeks where you can look and feel your best. And then you can get them on a challenge pack for either one because they're on sale. The poor girl, she's always coming in and out. So get that going. I am going to be hosting a 21 Day Fix all-encompassing, so 21 Day Fix and 21 Day Fix Extreme challenge group starting on February 23rd. So if you're not comfortable in doing your own group, or maybe you don't have enough people in that group, I will be starting it. Y'all are welcome to have your customers come into that group as well. The other announcement, as I mentioned before, finally, 3-Day Refresh will be available in Canada on February 26th. I still do not know what the price is, but they'll be rolling that out down the line. Welcome back. And Shannon, I actually want you to know, if you didn't see it yet, we have a product called the 3-Day Refresh coming out in Canada on February 26th. It's a 3-day detox, whole foods detox. It works amazing. Love it. I don't know how much it's going to be, but if it's anywhere between $60 and $70 American, it's probably going to be $70 to $80, maybe up to $95 Canadian. I would probably add an extra 10 to 12 bucks on it. Yep. But hopefully it'll be less than 100. I am going to host a team-wide 3-day refresh challenge group just for our team in early March. I think it would be really awesome for everyone to do this together, because then we have our own, a lot of us have already done it before, but then we can, tell people that we're doing it together. We can, it's a great way to bring posts. You can talk about, how my whole team is doing. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. And then we have our own, our own stories to tell, plus the stories of everybody else in the group. And then we get the support to do it together, because if you've done it before, you never realize how long 3 days really is until you do the 3-day refresh. So I want to do that in March, early March. And then, of course, Team Cup has started. I'm very excited about this. I want my Autumn Calabrese bobblehead so bad. And this time, of course, the requirements for the prize tier are a little bit different. This time, even for the first tier prize, we need to have a collective amount of 30 points. Everyone has to hit Success Club for any one of us to get that prize. So if that's going to be, to me, I want you guys to get that Autumn Calabrese bobblehead. I want y'all to have her. So I'm going to work my butt off for you guys. I think it's a really great, it's supposed to be a team building thing. So I think it's actually really good that they changed this. It used to be, it's just the first one was just Success Club 5, and individual people would get, even if 2 people in the group didn't hit it, the other 3 who did get it would get the prize. They're not doing that anymore. It's collective or none. Which again, it's a team cup that should be what it is. So let's work really hard together so we can help ourselves achieve our goals and help each other achieve our goals. So that's all the announcements I have. I want to get on to a little bit of training. Hopefully I can do this in the next 30 minutes. What I really wanted to talk about today is I want to talk about how we can talk to prospective customers and coaches, and how we can post online with more confidence and more ease, so that you're not going, did I say this right? Did I say that right? I don't know what to say here. I don't know what to do there. These are just a few tips that I have learned myself along the way that have helped me, and hopefully they will help you as well. And this is why I'm recording it, because I think there's a lot of good tips here. Some of it you may have heard before, because if I believe in it, I will tell you about it to death. That's all I got to say about that. So there's going to be a few things that you've heard before. So the first one you have heard before, if you've been a coach with me for long enough, this business has no place for our own personal issues. And I say that because we have a tendency to project our own issues onto other people. And it can come up in a variety of ways. It can come up, usually the big one comes up, it's cost. If we think something is too expensive, if we think Shakeology is too expensive, we'll automatically think everybody else thinks it's expensive too. I'm not saying it's not cheap. It's not cheap. But like I like to say, Shakeology wasn't made to be cheap. It was made to be effective. Mm-hmm. If you want cheap, you've got a lot of sources to go to, but they're not nearly as effective as Shakeology. It took me a long time to be able to say it that way. See the confidence in that? It took me a long time to get to that point, because when I started, I thought it was way too expensive. But I understand now, because I've been taking it for over 2 years. I'm looking over here, by the way, because you guys are over here. My notes are over here, so my apologies. If it doesn't look like I'm looking at you, I really actually am looking at your faces, your beautiful faces. That's your own problem, and that was my own problem too. That your issues have no place in this business. Another thing might be time. You might not want to recommend Insanity because it's too much time for people. Well, just because you don't have the time doesn't mean somebody else doesn't have the time. It's not your business to prejudge. To help people live healthier, more fulfilling lives, we have to stay focused on them, on the person you're talking to, on the people you want to reach. When you take yourself out of the equation, talking to others is so much easier, because you're not bringing up your shit. True. And, if you are uncertain, I'm going to come into this a little later. It's not your job to prejudge. It's not your job to decide this person wouldn't be into shakes, or this person wouldn't be into 21 Day Fix. It's only your job to identify their goals and their needs, and to connect them with the fitness program that suits their goals and their lifestyle, and to connect them with why Shakeology would be beneficial to them. We all know Shakeology is beneficial to everybody, but you need to find out why Shakeology would be beneficial to that specific person. What does that person need that Shakeology can give them? If you are at any point uncertain about these goals, about how to connect them, what product to connect them with, how Shakeology will benefit them, keep asking them questions. Keep asking until you are certain you know how you can help them. And the other reason that you want to keep this on them and you want to take the focus away from you is because people can smell insecurity a mile away. They know it. They just sniff it out like a drug. They don't even realize that they know it. It's just intuitive. If you've ever come up to someone and they said to you, I think you should go watch the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. And you said, oh, why? And they're like, well, cartoons are fun. And I heard it's really good. I mean, I haven't really watched the show myself. And, I don't really think he's all that funny. And I'm not really that funny either. Like, already you're like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to walk away from this. People will know that it's not worth watching. Like, you haven't convinced them of anything. They can smell the insecurity because you're insecure about why you are recommending this movie to people. And you've probably been through that before, and people will know it. But confidence attracts. You know, when people have real, true confidence, not fake confidence, not like people who walk into the room and they're strutting around and it's a false confidence. You know that too. Sometimes people get them mixed up, and this is not a call about confidence. But true confidence, people who are comfortable in themselves, they're comfortable in what they're talking about, that attracts people. And so you've experienced that before with other people. Again, if they're coming up to you and they're like, you have got to see the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. It is the most freaking hilarious movie I have ever seen in my life. I don't know why I'm bringing up SpongeBob. I only know SpongeBob, and he works at Krabby Cakes or something. I don't even remember the other guys. The thing. You know what I mean? When people come up to you and they're confident and they're telling you it's the best movie they've ever seen in their entire life, and you will be crying for 2 hours out of laughter. Okay, you want to see it because they're confident that this is going to happen to you. If you are not, I'm going to bring this back around. If you're not confident in the product and what it can do to help others achieve their goals, there's no way you can get that across. There's no, and they won't even know why they don't want to do the product. But it's because it's an intuitive thing. If you are insecure about it, you're insecure in talking about it, people will say no, and they might not even know why. And it's okay. I know we get in, there might be that insecurity when we're first doing it. I know I was. TurboFire was really the only thing I actually did. I knew nothing about Shakeology. I did TurboFire and Chalene Extreme before I did Shakeology. I lost all my weight before I was on Shakeology. So I wasn't even sure about Shakeology in general. But this is why I started collecting stories. And I've said this before, and you'll hear this from any other coach. If you don't have the story yet, you need to become a collector of stories. You want to create a huge portfolio of stories from other customers and other coaches who've had success and had success with a wide variety of Beachbody products. Because that way, even though you haven't done it, you can confidently tell other people that although you haven't personally done the product, or maybe you're in the middle of your journey of using the product, you are confident that it works because the people in your life, maybe one of us, has done the product and we've had success with it. So if you don't have the confidence and you don't have that confidence because you haven't done it yet, it's okay, but it's up to you to create that confidence by looking at the stories around you, by looking at our team, by looking at the Fit Tribe, by looking at the Beachbody Challenge winners. Those people are real people. And by knowing that it works for them, it's going to help you to be more confident while you're doing it yourself, because nothing is going to give you more confidence than having that success story under your belt, whatever that story is. The other option is to focus on one or two specific programs and become an expert. So know that one or two programs inside out and only invite people just to do those programs. You don't have to have people doing programs on doing every different program if you haven't done it and you're not confident in that other program. Decide that you're going to be like the queen of 21 Day Fix and you are going to do that thing constantly all the time. That's what you're known for. You're the 21 Day Fix chick. And people are going to say, oh, I want to do 21 Day Fix. And your friend goes, dude, I know someone who's done it 8 times and has lost like 50 bajillion pounds. I'm going to hook you up with her. She knows what she's talking about. You know what I mean? Like, you want to be that person. So if that's what you want, you need to focus on right now. That's what Morgan is doing. Morgan is focusing on PiYo, and now she's bringing in 21 Day Fix. She's doing it herself. She's focusing on specific products and inviting people just for that product. And that girl will sit down with all of her brochures, everything that comes with the package, and she has memorized the whole thing. She's gone online into the back office. She's looked at all the information on there. She's the queen of PiYo. She knows all of it. And it's because she took the time to learn all of it. So you have that choice. You can be a collector of the stories, which you still should anyway, because if someone comes up to you and says, I don't like PiYo, I don't want to do PiYo, but I want to do TurboFire. Well, I know nothing about TurboFire, but you know what? I know someone who does. And then maybe you can just move them along to that. Or ask me. and I will give you the information to give to that potential customer. It's up to you. This is what I want to talk about when you are posting on your Facebook page or in groups, and even when you're posting to people and inviting them to your challenge group or whatever it is you're inviting them to. People are going to be inspired by your story. We always say that, products sell, stories tell. People like that. People may be inspired by your story, but they only care about what it's going to do for them. They don't care about you. I'm sorry, but it's true. They don't care about us. They just care what that product will do for them. They don't care that they might say, oh, Pio, you're doing so great with Pio. And oh my God, I can't believe you lost that weight. But they don't really care unless they think that they can lose that weight doing Pio. So when you are posting about your challenge groups, about whether they're free groups, whether they're your challenge groups, whether it's Shakeology, whether it's the product opportunity, or the business opportunity, whatever it is, you need to identify a problem that they have. If it's a specific person, it's so easy to find out what their problem is. You ask them what their problem is. You ask them what their goals are. You ask them why, maybe if they've been trying to lose 50 pounds for the last 10 years, why it didn't work for them. What are they struggling with? It's easy. But when you have a group of people, like when you talk on Facebook, when you post into groups or on Twitter, whatever, your social media, you need to be more broad. So in that sense, you want to think about, okay, what have these people asked me in the past? When people have talked to me before about their problems, what are the most pressing issues people have? Usually people say time and accountability and money. The other thing is if you do decide to do a specific program, just look at the program in general. Look at what the program solves for people and then ask the question. So for example, the problem, maybe it's 21 Day Fix. The problem or the solution that 21 Day Fix can give you is it's great on time, 30-minute workouts, and it has an amazing portion control system that is like unheard of in the health and fitness industry at this point in time, like for at-home workouts. So let's take the portion control thing. So all of a sudden you're thinking, okay, this solves our portion control issues. So what's the question? The question is, I need help with portion control. Everybody says it all the time. I eat too much. I need to get my portions under control. So when you talk to people, you tell them what this product is going to do. You don't even have to tell them what the product is. You just tell them, what if I could give you a program that will give you 30-minute workouts each day that will solve your portion control problems? Would you be interested? You didn't mention the program. You didn't mention Beachbody. You didn't mention any of that. You've just told them, I have a solution to your problem. That is what you want. I'm going to have to really race through this now. There's about 10 minutes. You really want to solve their problem. Nobody knows what Beachbody is. Not everybody knows what 21 Day Fix is. So if you go in there and say, I have this Beachbody program that you guys might be interested in, nobody cares. What they care is how you're going to solve their problem. So you have to identify what their problem is. It could be accountability. It could be time. It could be portion control. If you don't know and it's a group, throw one out there. Trust me, if you do one of those things, time, portion control, or accountability, someone on your page or someone reading it is going to have that issue and they're going to be like, whoa, she can solve that for me. Okay. So don't talk about, I would even hesitate to not even say the program sometimes. You can just tell them that you have a system, you have a group going, and this is what it's going to help you do, and put that out there. When you're messaging people privately, you hear it all the time. The more you know, the easier it is to recommend a product, a program without hesitancy. we tend to go, ooh, I don't know what I should say. I don't know, I don't know if this one's good or if that's not good. If that comes up, it's because you don't know enough to be able to confidently recommend a product. And how do you recommend that without hesitancy? You need to keep asking questions. Ask questions. Ask, oh my God, you can make a list of how many questions you can ask a person about their life. I will give you 1,000 right here, right now. When was the last time you worked out? Do you have any injuries? And this is for helping you identify the program that's right for them. 21 Day Fix might not be right for everybody. You need to find that out. You need to find out what program is right for them. So, these are the questions that I ask people. When was the last time you worked out? Do you have any injuries? How much time do you have in a week to devote to working out? What kinds of workouts do you like? Boot camp, dance, martial arts? Do you care? What's your nutrition like? How often do you eat out? What kinds of food do you eat? What's a typical day of eating like for you? I do this all the time so I can get a screenshot of what their daily eating is like. What are your biggest struggles when it comes to solving your your biggest struggles when it comes to solving your problems in the past? So if they've been struggling for the last 10 years with 50 pounds, what's been the issue? What's been holding you back? Ask questions. All of those questions are going to help you understand what program to recommend. If they say, I like dance programs, well, then you're not going to tell them to do Insanity. You're not going to tell them to do 21 Day Fix. They're going to get bored. But if they don't care and they just want results, then boom, you just go in and you say, you know what, I know you only have 30 minutes a week. Maybe they have less than 30 minutes a week. They will not work out every single day of the week. Boom, Focus T25 right there. I like dance workouts. My schedule is variable. I like to have fun. Boom, Turbo Jam, Turbo Fire, maybe Brazil butt lift. Who knows? Ask the questions. The more questions you ask, the more confident you'll be when you recommend what it is you want to recommend to other people. When it comes to bringing up Beachbody, form. We hear it all the time. Form. It's basic training. It's oh so powerful, especially if you're like me and you're not a natural born conversation starter. Family, occupation, relaxation, then your message. If they don't seem interested in Beachbody, if they haven't asked you about your fitness, if you've slyly brought up your workouts and how awesome you're feeling and they don't mention it, you don't mention it because obviously they don't give a crap. If they don't give a crap, move on. Not everyone is ready to commit to their health right now or ever. And not everyone is ready to commit to you or to Beachbody. And that's okay. If they commit to something else down the line and they get results and they feel awesome, that's the most important part. You are not the most important part. They are the most important part. We have to keep that in our minds when we talk to other people. Don't convince. I've been through this before. I'm sure we all have been through this before at some point. Anytime with anything in the world, you try to convince somebody to do something, 9 times out of 10, it falls flat anyway. You've wasted your time. It's not worth the effort. And if they do jump on board, if they do your group, they do drink the Shakeology, most likely they will not last. They will quit within the month. They will not post and they will cancel their Shakeology. It's not worth it. If they sit there, I've had people say, convince me. And if someone says, convince me, I drop the conversation. Not worth it to me. I'm going to move on to people who are more willing to actually have a conversation with me. It's not worth it. If you're dealing with someone who's negative, it's a staple across the board when it comes to Beachbody. Use your story. I don't know about that. All I know is fill in the blank on your story. Because, and I was mentioning this to Shannon earlier, no one can take your story away. They can tell you, and this is the exact example I use, they can tell you 21 Day Fix is a sham. It doesn't work at all. But if you've done it, Shannon's done it, Shannon had amazing results from it. Is she a liar? She's not a liar, and we all know it. So we know that it works. No one can take away your story. It doesn't matter. If you feel amazing with Shakeology and someone says it's a scam, it's not, because no one can take away your story. No one. So if someone's negative, I don't know about that. All I know is blank. Why is that powerful? Because again, A, no one can take away your story, and B, it gives you integrity, because you're not going to bash other products. If someone says, I want you to compare Herbalife with Shakeology, don't bash Herbalife. Don't bash Body by Vi. Don't bash the other protein powders or whatever is out there, because that doesn't give you integrity. It's petty. And we don't want to be like other companies that bash other shakes or other programs. We're better than that. So just don't do it. Don't. We know Shakeology is the best. We know our program's the best, but that's what gives us confidence. We don't have to go around waving a flag that says it. We just drink it daily and we achieve the results, and the people who don't can go off and go, oh, it's not working. I don't know what's wrong. Hello, over here. I'm just going to drink my shake. We're better than that, okay? Just be a product of the product. And this is such a good time because we only have like 2 minutes left. The last thing I want to tell you, two things I want to tell you. It's one thing that Mindy Lawhorn says, and I love it. And Mindy is so much fun. I need to meet her because I think she and I are a lot alike. She says, be bright, be bold, be gone. And I try to use that every time I talk to someone. Keep your messages short. Don't vomit in their face. Don't vomit the information. Keep your messages short. Be positive and helpful. Always end with asking them a question. Always think about how you can help them, and then say, see you later. And so I did want to wrap up with a post that Carl Daikeler put on his page today, because I think it's beautiful. And I think it is exactly why we are coaches. And you may all have read it already because I reposted it to her page, but I think it's too important not to actually say it. A life can be suffocated by obesity. Joy can be impossible when you don't feel comfortable in your own skin. People you know don't have to live that way. With your focus, courage, intent, with your commitment to help people achieve their goals to lead healthy, fulfilling lives, people can find their enthusiasm and potential again. That's why we ask. That's why we ask everyone, what are your goals and what would help you achieve your goals? That's what you keep in mind every time you talk to someone, every time you post. You need to ask, how can you help them? Because everybody matters. That's what you think about. Drops the mic. I'm done.
Thank you.
We have no time. I'm sorry. All right, ladies, I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
And I will post this recording up as soon as I can.
Okay. Thank you.
Have a good night, ladies.
You too.
Bye.